Our lead story of the day is regarding YouTube censoring the truth about radical transgender ideology, and we're going to give y'all the details. Before we jump into anything, support a true American patriot by hitting that like and subscribe button. Leave us a short, sweet comment down below. The question of the day is, do you think big tech, the progressive left, the Democrat Party are going to start going after and censoring conservatives and Republicans more? That 2024 is just right around the corner? Let us know in the comment section below. Also, in the description, check out baldbread.com. We got a website, folks. We sell signed copies of the book, Trojan Horse, How the Left is Destroying America. We got merchandise. We got coffee mugs for you all with the logo and the American flag on the back, folks. In the description below, go ahead and check that out. Well, the Daily Wire co-CEO Jeremy Boring called out YouTube in a Twitter thread on Sunday, revealing a series of violations levied against his company's shows that he cast as a betrayal of the video's platform's commitment to, get this, open debate. YouTube doesn't want open debate. They say they will, but the debate that they want to have is narratives that go along with their narrative. We'll get to that in just one moment. In just the last 90 days, Boring said accounts associated with the Daily Wire have received 104 violations for, get this, hateful and derogatory content. In other words, anything YouTube deems to go against their narrative, that's going to be hateful and derogatory. Hateful is purely subjective. I mean, there's some things that we can all come around that's hateful, things that we can all agree are wrong. But when you get in that subjective territory, there's things that you could say to one person that that person finds hateful, but you could say to another person that they don't find hateful. Again, mostly it's just going against the left's narrative. They don't like that, so they're going to censor it. So this is mainly directed at commentary about transgender issues. And if you know anything about that, which we talked about here on the Bald Brad Show, that is pretty much a progressive left issue where the Democrat Party is now absorbing that issue as well and going along with it. And we see that from the White House itself, which has put out statements about transgender ideology, castrating children, mutilating them, giving them gender-affirming care, which goes along with that same pathway. There have been more than 200 violations in the past few months, he added. Accounts for Matt Walsh, Ben Shapiro, Candace Owens, Michael Knowles, Andrew Klavan, Brett Cooper, and Jordan Peterson have all received violations across the board. Penalties include Walsh being demonetized last month, which made headline news, and now he's posted his show on Twitter. Owens and Knowles being suspended for 7 days after receiving a second strike, and Peterson getting his first strike. 3 strikes in 90 days, and an account gets deleted, Boring noted. That's a hit. Everyone knew the truth then, just like everyone knows men are not women, Boring said. YouTube only does more damage the longer it keeps its finger on the scales. Not wrong. It is amazing that we're even having this conversation. 1, about censorship, but 2, about the fact that men are men and women are women. I mean, let that sink in. You're not talking about some mind-blowing philosophical conversation here. That's just objective reality and something that's been truth for like all of human history. And we're sitting there silencing people because they say a man can't be a woman can't be a man, which is true. It's insane. It's insane the time we're living in. The Daily Wire has taken a firm line against the radical transgender craze, especially when it comes to minors being subjected to irreversible, chemical, and even surgical treatments. I've said this time and time again. Every conservative Republican says this time and time again. Do we care in totality about the issue of LGBTQ transgenderism? Not really. For us that are real liberals about this, is you do your own thing as an adult. You just don't affect us. You leave me alone. I leave you alone, and we go on our merry way. But you're targeting our children on every facet and every front of life. Movies, the newspaper media, in the classroom, at home, through whatever other mechanisms out there. And that's where the core issue is. If you stop targeting the children, a lot of this will go away. It will always still be an issue because a lot of people don't agree with the idea of you mutilating yourself due to some sort of psychological issue that we all hope that you can get help and treatment for. But lopping off your genitals usually isn't the best idea, in my opinion. But, again, it's your life. You can do what you want with it. But again, I don't think you should be targeting children. When they turn 18 of age, then, hey, make all the decisions you want. But it's insane to me that they want a 3-year-old to determine their gender and their sex. And they go, well, I think I should have puberty and hormone enhancements or whatever they want to get. When they're freaking eating Elmer's glue at school, can't color in between the lines, can't walk across the street, can't even do their homework appropriately. But yeah, sure, make a life-altering decision. That's real smart. During discussions with YouTube, Boring said the video platform's policy team, quote, claims they want to be a place where we can debate this issue, but virtually every time we discuss it, we receive these violations. So they say one thing and do another. How shocking from the left. YouTube has a broad audience. Over 25% of the U.S. population gets their news from the platform. And the Daily Wire is one of the largest news brands in that space, Boring said. To highlight that reach, Boring said the Daily Wire associated accounts have over 157 million views on YouTube just last week, which equates to well over 20 million views a day. That's insane. That's insane in a good way. Though Boring predicted YouTube will eventually come around on the transgender debate, like it and other social media platforms did with policies governing posts about COVID and election issues, a reversal might come too late. So basically saying, hey, there were certain things you couldn't say about COVID that now you can say today. The very things that conservatives and Republicans were saying literally during COVID ended up being truth because they were truth at the time and they're truth now. And all of a sudden the left just wakes up to and going, oh God, now it's socially acceptable. Now we can say that type of stuff. That's really what it's going to come down to. And that's really what Boring's saying here. Yet, we are on the verge of losing access to the platform, Boring warned, which is why they created Daily Wire Space in the first place. I've been a long-time fan of the Daily Wire. I was following the Daily Wire when they were in Jeremy Boring's pool house, and I was getting my questions read by Ben Shapiro because there wasn't many of us in the chat, many of us following the Daily Wire at that time. I mean, there was like wood planks in the background. His show only used to be like 10 minutes long. It was not these hour-long podcasts. It used to only be like 10, 15-minute segments back then. Well, sharing a screenshot from a YouTube blog post that touts open political discourse being, quote, core to a functioning democratic society, or in question whether the platform is, quote, too beholden to other powers. For unfettered debate, he highlighted large shareholders in Alphabet Inc., the parent company of YouTube and Google, specifically tagging the Vanguard Group and BlackRock. YouTube will have to check with them, Boring quipped. If you guys want to do some serious side research that's going to make your head spin and blow your mind, look at Vanguard Group and BlackRock and how much basically they have their tentacles into everything. It's wild the amount of shares that they have in certain companies and banks and corporations. Your head's gonna, it sounds like literally a conspiracy theory, but when you start doing a deep dive in this stuff, there's a lot, I think, good talk about maybe splitting those companies up. There's a lot of power in Vanguard and BlackRock. A lot of power that's going to affect you and I big time. And usually I like to leave corporations alone, but there's some serious issues with that, and that has to be for a whole nother video. We'll think about doing it sometime in the future here, because there's some research I'd have to pull up, a lot of websites and stuff to read from, but good God, y'all, it's crazy. YouTube did not immediately return a request seeking comment on the thread. The Daily Wire has positioned itself as a champion of free speech, challenging social media companies not to suppress the discussion of ideas, particularly in the debate over transgenderism, but it has become an uphill battle in some spheres. This struggle took center stage basically on Twitter a little more than a week ago, and this made headline news after Boring announced that the Daily Wire Plus shows would be streamed on social media platform amid a cancellation blitz against a conservative media company's podcast hosts. So this got in the realm of What is a Woman with Matt Walsh going to not premiere it on Twitter, but basically release it for free for everybody to see on Twitter, and it kind of had some issues. So the groundbreaking documentary in which Walsh asks the tough questions underlying the gender ideology movement, which was a documentary posted on Twitter on June 1st, the first day of Pride Month. The platform initially labeled the post as hateful conduct and restricted its visibility because of 2 instances of supposed misgendering. I reacted to Matt Walsh's trailer to What is a Woman, and it got removed off YouTube. When it first came out, I reacted to it, it got removed. Not only, to tell you the extent of it, not only did I fix every single issue that YouTube wanted me to fix so that I could have it up, because it was getting like thousands of views. I fixed every single issue, and they still removed it. They still removed it for the exact same reason, hateful and derogatory. That's why you don't see it anymore. It's there. It's there. It was pulled. So it's still in the catalog, but you won't be able to see it on your end. This is stuff we deal with behind the scenes. And now you see why I highlighted that comment a couple days ago, and nothing against Ellen, because she just misunderstood. But the idea that people think I delete other people's comments, I am such an advocate for free speech. I think you should be able to say whatever the hell you want to say, regardless of whether you're a psycho or not. I think you should be able to say whatever you want to say on any platform. I could disagree with it all I want, but you have the right to say it. And I will actually champion your right to say it. But the progressive left won't do that. The Democrat Party won't do that. Oh, no. They say they do. I mean, the Democrat Party, if you look at Kennedy today, even Kennedy, right? Actual John Kennedy or Robert Kennedy, if you look at that type of Democrat, that is more probably in line almost with a centrist conservative right side thinking nowadays. So the Kennedy that you see today that's running against Joe Biden, the one that's being censored himself by the Democrat Party, shows you how far left the Democrat Party, the progressive left have gotten. But they'll say the same thing about us. Doesn't make sense to me, but somehow it makes sense to them. There's a lot of things that are crazy that make sense to them, don't make sense to anybody else. Like a man is a woman and a woman is a man. So again, fierce backlash to the censorship ensued overnight, led by small accounts and prominent figures alike, including those belonging to Walsh and Boring. Many question whether Twitter 2.0, under owner Elon Musk, was truly the free speech platform they promised. Outrage grew until the restrictions were lifted, and Musk himself promoted the video and the film the following morning, retweeting the post and encouraging parents to watch. That tweet garnered more than 180 million views, folks. Insane stuff. Boring's thread on Sunday came on the heels of Peterson, a Daily Wire Plus contributor. Jordan Peterson's awesome, by the way. If you haven't read his books, 12 Rules for Life, the both of them, absolutely amazing. I've heard his other book, Maps of Meaning, I believe it's called, is one of the hardest books Ben Shapiro's ever read. That's at least what he said. I haven't read it myself. I want to pick it up, but again, that's for a whole another time. Revealing on Saturday that YouTube had removed a video in which he had authored Helen Joyce discuss gender ideology for allegedly violating the platform's hate speech policy. Here you go. I mean, anytime you bring up transgender, it's just hate speech, right? Oh my God, it's hate speech. It's like, come on, man. Come on. In a series of tweets, Peterson said, "To say I am tired of being accused in this manner by narcissistic authoritarians is to say almost nothing." He ended up posting the full video to Twitter at Musk's behest. I mean, I've been thinking a lot about Musk going, hey, you know what? Turn Twitter into what it is, but turn Twitter also into a video platform. And I think that's kind of where it's going, where you have Daily Wire moving over there. You have Tucker Carlson doing his show on there. A lot of people are already on Twitter. It's already there. You could do it. And I think you're going to slowly see Twitter kind of evolve into a Rumble, YouTube, social media platform here, where people are just going to post on there because they know they're not going to get their stuff taken down. And that's a good move for Elon Musk to do because he's struggling here in terms of advertisements. And now you can inject advertisements the same way that YouTube does and capitalize on that. So, and we all know that they're moving that direction because of the hiring process, or in terms of who they hired there at Twitter, to basically promote the idea of advertising on their platform to make it bigger, to make it stronger, and ultimately make more money. So there you have it. Daily Wire, it goes a little bit further here with them targeting Candace Owens, which is the most recent event, Michael Knowles, again, just for talking pure truth. And it's not hateful or derogatory. You just don't like it. And because you don't like it, you think things should be censored. That's a scary environment. That is some George Orwell 1984 type material. That is some Maoist, China, like socialist, quasi-communist thinking. I don't think people should be censored. But let us know. Again, the question of the day is, do you think conservatives and Republicans, and I guess some Democrats too, if you look at Kennedy, he's being censored. Do you think that the progressive left and big tech are going to start censoring us more now that the 2024 election is right around the corner? Would love your opinion in the comment section below. I hope you enjoyed that clip from the Bald Brad Show. If you did, make sure to hit that subscribe button so you can stay up to date on all our future content.